So, I have said in a couple of videos recently that I have started my very own physical game collection. And what we're going to do in this video is go through some of my first ever pickups. But before we jump into that, there's a couple of pointers and things I want to put up for discussion. And whilst we go through all of that, there is some Golden Axe gameplay in the background because I emulate a lot of PlayStation 2 games. So we're going to start off with, ultimately, I'm going to obviously decide how things are going to be done with this type of video. But I've got some questions because there are some ideas that I wanted to put out there for discussion because I want you guys to enjoy this, these types of videos as much as I do. So first off, I want to know if you are happy to see gameplay that's recorded by me on my phone. So for an example, let's just say I show you gameplay of a game I picked up on the PS2. I have the PS2, but at the moment I don't have anything like an HDMI converter. I can't plug it into my PC through the Elgato and start recording it or anything. And not only that, it's quite tight on the amount of room that I've got for collecting. So it's basically, would you rather see gameplay of me actually sitting down playing the game, recording it with my phone, or are you happy to see gameplay that either I've recorded, say, through an emulator, or if, for an example, I take a clip from a video from World of Long Plays? I think it's probably going to be easier if I take maybe clips from World of Long Plays or something like that, at least at the start. However, if you guys would rather see actual raw gameplay recorded on a phone, I don't have a CRT, unfortunately. I needed to get some sort of a TV that's got a few different inputs. So I've got composite, I've got SCART, and I've got HDMI. I wanted to be able to set up a bunch of consoles because it's not just games I've been picking up. I've managed to get myself a PS2, PS3, a Nintendo Wii, and then I've got the full line of Xbox consoles. So the original, the 360, the Xbox One, and I've got the Series X as well. So what I'm thinking is, for the start, if I just take clips from World of Long Plays, unless you guys want to see that more sort of retro look. The TV is like a flat screen, but it's a small 22-inch TV, and I thought I would just chuck that out for discussion to see what you guys think about it. And I do have more games than the ones I'm going to be showing in this video. These are just ones that I picked out of my little collection. My personal collection game count at the moment is 33. However, I am still waiting for some more deliveries of some really, really cool games, which should be over the next few days or so. And I will show you more than the 5 I'm going to show in this video. It's just I thought, because of the discussion and everything, I didn't want to show too many games and have this video being really, really long. And as I said, I don't quite have a games room. I've got what I just call my retro gaming corner at the moment. There is some things there that's more along the modern sort of eras. As I said, I've got an Xbox One plugged in. I've got a PlayStation 3, but then I do have the PS2, which you can play PS1 games on. And I've also got the original Xbox and the Nintendo Wii. So it's something I call my retro gaming corner. I would absolutely love for one day to have a full-on games room, but I think that's a long, long way off. And what I'm doing at the moment for my collection is collecting nostalgic games, so games from my childhood that I loved playing, coming home from school, so on and so forth. And I'm also looking for special/limited editions for pretty much all platforms. One of the games that I've got turning up is the Day 1 2013 edition of Dead Rising 3, and most of them, they're going to have digital codes and stuff in for season passes and DLC, and they've probably been used. I'm buying them all second hand, but just to have that physical case and maybe some special looking discs and stuff is really, really cool in my opinion. So special and limited editions and nostalgic games for any platform is what I'm going for at the moment. And then I might sort of niche down and go for specific platforms at some point in the future. I don't know exactly where this journey is going to take me. And because I am collecting physical, it's not just about ordering online, it's not a digital collection. So I do get up, I go out and about, I go to CEX, local charity shops and stuff. So I wanted to know if you guys would like to see some footage. Maybe if I, say for a pure example, I go to a local CEX, I record through the shop window, we discuss some of the games and stuff they're selling, their prices and everything like that. I personally like the idea of doing that, so if you guys want to see that, let me know. And also, in the comments, let me know about your collections, any recent pickups you've had, if you're a collector and stuff. And also, let me know the sort of length of video you'd be happy with. Would you like longer videos if maybe I get some bundles and stuff? Maybe to showcase quite a lot of games, or would you like to keep the videos a little bit shorter? Let me know all of that stuff in the comments. And now we're going to get into my first 5 pickups. So the first one is GTA 1. the first Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation 1. It's the Platinum Edition of the game, and you might get a little sneak peek of the sticker on the case. It's £18 and it's from CEX, and I paid that sticker price. But this is complete in box. There are 4 maps that come in this case. So you've got the case, you've got like the cover art or the inlay, I don't actually know what it's called. Then you've got the manual, which is in really, really good condition, and you've got 4 maps. There are like a couple of crosses on one of the maps, but there are 4 in there, so I could basically, if I wanted to, I could put them in frames, put them up on the wall, back and front of each map. And the reason I paid sticker price at CEX, because I know there's quite a lot of people out there that don't really like CEX. Their prices are quite high, and especially if you're trading in, or if you're selling games, yeah, voucher and cash price isn't the greatest. But GTA 1 is an absolute classic. I remember when I was a kid, I'd come home from school, I'd put it on the PlayStation 1, and my favourite thing to do in the game was just go and steal all of the sports cars, take them down to the dock, they would get lifted up by a crane, they would get taken to God knows where, and you would basically be selling the cars and making money. And for me as a kid, that was a lot of fun. Just literally stealing sports car after sports car, taking them to the crane at the dock, and the memories from that game is pretty much the only reason I grabbed it from CEX. It was complete in box. It's all in very good condition, because I went to a CEX before and I had a look at Sonic 2, I believe it was, on the Mega Drive, and also Streets of Rage 2 Champions Edition. I took them to the counter, asked to look at the manuals and everything, and both the manuals had actual parts of the manuals ripped. And I'm not a perfectionist, I don't want them all mint condition, but if I'm buying a game, I would prefer to have the manual in the box. And if I'm buying a game and I want the manual, then I want it to be complete. I don't want to be buying a game that's got a ripped manual. Especially because some manuals for games can go for upwards of £25 to £50 for a single manual. So I want those manuals to at least be in decent to good condition. And then the next game we have is one of my favourite racing games. I say one of. This is Juiced, and I've got it for the PlayStation 2. Again, complete in box. On the manual, in some sort of permanent marker, it says Young Po. Absolutely no idea who that is. But that's pretty much the only thing that's wrong with it. And I got this, I think, is an absolute bargain. I paid £2 for this at the local cash converters. Complete in box, decent condition. And Juiced, for me, was such a good game because it was all about racing. You could upgrade your cars and everything. But the most fun I had was building up the respect, because you basically got different, I'm going to say factions, different racers from different like clans. And as you're driving, if you say build up your lead in the race, you're going to earn more respect. And when you get enough respect, you can host events, you can do pink slips so you can race for their car, you can bet against the different drivers and stuff. And it was a lot of fun just making money through bets, like winning money and pink slipping and earning cars and upgrading them, making them faster. As a kid, I spent a lot of time in racing games. And then next up, sticking on the theme of racing games, we have Need for Speed Underground 2, probably my all-time favourite racing game. And this one I managed to pick up in a game bundle, so I've got a bunch of different games, but what I do when I buy a bundle is I do like individual pricing on it. So I ended up paying £7.50 for Need for Speed Underground 2, and it's complete in box, all good condition, and I love this game for so many different reasons. One, I think it's one of, if not the only game out there that you can actually upgrade the audio. Like basically you can look in the boot of your car or the trunk, and you've got all these different sound systems and stuff in there. You can put your neons on your car, you had secret shops you could find as you're exploring the open world. One of my favourite racing types is the drag racing, because you don't really have to do much. You're just shifting, and you get you basically don't lose any speed if you get a perfect shift and stuff. And it's not about controlling your car. You're just simply flicking your analog stick to change lane, and it's just about winning the drag race. But not only that, you can put spinners on your wheels, you can get hydraulics and stuff. There's so much customization within Need for Speed Underground 2. And you've got a bunch of different brands and everything. The racing's really good. The Peugeot 106, the car you're seeing in the gameplay, I spent so many hours driving that car with all different upgrades, massive spoilers on. It was probably one of my most played games as a child, like from what I remember anyway. And then for game number 4 in this video, we have Blur, and this one is for the Xbox 360. There is only one reason I like this game, and this game feels kind of like I'm gonna say it feels like a Mario Kart, because there are power-ups. You can shoot rockets and stuff out of your car. But other than that, I would say it's just a pretty basic racing game. The reason I like Blur so much is because, again, I think it's one of, if not the only, game that actually features my hometown as a racing sort of track. I grew up in Brighton on the south coast of the UK, and you can actually race around what's known as the Palace Pier. So being able to race in my local area that I grew up in, it was fantastic to play Blur. So starting a physical game collection, I had to grab this one, and for Blur I paid £5.50. Again, got it in a bundle. And other than the track in my hometown, I don't remember much about this game. I know you've got the power-ups and stuff. I did play it recently because I try and test all of the games I buy just to make sure they're working. I can't get around to every single one of them. I bought a lot of bundles when I first started my collection. And yes, I said there are 33 games in my collection. I have a load more games. I think my count's at around 150, but for the ones that I want to keep, the ones that I'm really happy to actually have in my collection, what I'm going to call my personal collection. The others, they'll just sit there. I might sell a couple if I get duplicates or whatever. But yeah, Blur, paid £5.50, got it in a bundle. And the last game we're going to talk about in this video is Theme Park World for the PlayStation 2. This one, again, bought in a bundle. It cost me £3. And this was a really, really fun game. If you've ever played Planet Coaster, think along the lines of that, but back when technology was nowhere near as good. Like, we're talking about 20 years ago. I can't remember the release year for it. But basically what you do in this game is you open up your own theme park. You've got all your different rides, you can upgrade them, you can get security, cleaners, you put the shops down, and you're basically building a theme park to make money, complete objectives, you earn golden tickets to move on to different areas where you can build other theme parks. And I remember I had this friend at school, and I just always wanted to go round to his house after school because he had this game. I used to love this game so much. It was like, I want to go to my friend's house, I want to play this game. I did it so often. I loved being able to play Theme Park World as a kid. And this is the PS2 version of the game. It's complete in box, got the manual and everything. I do also have it on the PlayStation 1. However, I've not got around to testing it. There's no manual. It's pretty much in a broken case. I've just got the disc for the PS1, and I'm not sure if it works. So I've got the game on both PS1 and PS2. However, my PS2 copy is complete in box. It all works and everything. And yeah, that is the first 5 games I wanted to talk about. The very beginning of my physical game collection, my first ever pickups. And as I said, if you have a collection, if you go out and you collect now, you've got recent pickups and stuff, let me know all about them in the comments. And what we are going to do is leave that video there. I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.